What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos. So welcome to a new special episode of Take It to the Table. As you can see, we've upped the budget for this episode. This is a special one.
We actually have a table.
We actually have a table this time. Yeah. Upgrade. And of course, I am joined none other by Rads. Welcome to the show, Rads.
What is going on? Happy to be here once again.
Yes.
Looking forward to talking about some interesting wrestling.
As always interesting. This, like I said, it's a little special episode. We're going to have a little discussion of who we think are the top 5, maybe even if we have enough time, the top 10, who we think are the worst wrestlers so far this year. All right. And there's been, thanks to the current pandemic, it's kind of shown a lot of weak spots in people's skill set, and a lot of craziness has happened. But like I said, we will dive into that as we go on. So without further ado, let's take it to the table. All right. So like I said, we're currently right now in August? Yeah, we're in August right now. Yeah. A couple weeks before SummerSlam, the biggest event of the summer, as they always like to pitch. But of course, we're also in the halfway point of the year and so we kind of would rather like just analyze all the wrestlers that's out right now and see, like, you know, there's been some great matches, there's been some great moments, but there's also a couple stinkers along the way. So I just figured in this episode we just pretty much give our own personal takes of who we think are the top 5 for now, top 5, and maybe some honorable mentions or dishonorable mentions of the worst wrestlers we think have not really had a really successful 2020, whether it be storylines they were given, botches they made, cringeworthy things they've done, whether it's in the ring or social media, all that. We're going to round that all up and then give our takes in the top 5, from least worst to the absolute worst as well. All
okay.
Right? So
it's gonna be tough for me, man.
Why would you say that?
Because they're all bad. I don't know. Let's try.
All right. Okay. So all right. So without putting too much pressure on you, I'll lead off with my first one. So my top 5, I would say the first one would have to be Baron Corbin. I think his gimmick is weird.
I knew you'd say Baron Corbin.
I just knew he has to end up on there. I mean, like, you know, this whole King thing. I've gotten over that gimmick where as soon as you win King of the Ring, you have to act like royalty. I'm so over that. I've been over that since Booker T.
Let me ask you. You're not necessarily talking about a wrestling standpoint. It's just any aspect, like the gimmick as well and everything.
I'm rounding it all up, because like I think the gimmick for him, it makes him even more boring and kind of exposes his moveset.
So you already think he's boring in the ring anyway?
Yeah, like there was at one point, there was at one point where he was I think like the Money in the Bank match last year. I was thinking he was evolving his moveset, but now when you look at his matches, it's pretty much the same moves in terms of he gets thrown into the turnbuckle, he runs around, does a clothesline when he goes in, or he's like rest like little wrestle holds every time there's a commercial break. He has a very boring moveset about him. Okay. And like his only saving grace is obviously his finisher. Like you can literally hit that from out of nowhere, and I like it. Like just the segments that he's been in is just, and like all about King's Bounty and King's Ransom, and it's really cringe to me. There's a really, really bootleg. It's a bootleg of Game of Thrones. That's what it is. Wow. That's that's why I think that's my number 5.
Okay. Are you going on to number 4? You want me to?
No, you're going number 5,
man. I was thinking of some while you were talking. 5. I don't want to throw this guy in there, but I'm just because I'm just thinking who's really not screamed at me, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say Lashley.
Ooh.
Now, okay. I want him to be good. I like his character. I want to get behind him and all of that, but I don't know. I ain't really. Maybe more so just storylines and everything.
Yeah, I think it's down to that. Yeah.
Because he has the potential, but
100%.
for someone of his physique, his style, he should be one of the top guys, and he's not. And he kind of just feels like filler.
100%.
You know, in his feud with Rusev was the star, essentially, to me. And Lana was the star. Like, he was just kind of the other guy.
Yeah.
And maybe even now so in the Hurt Business, he's the other guy. I don't know, but...
that thing over there, the Drew McIntyre rivalry was total filler.
And it shouldn't have been.
It should
have. That had potential to be really good. But,
yeah, that could have went all the way up to SummerSlam. Like, have 2 matches out of it. Yeah, I think that would have been ideal. 110%.
But that's it. I haven't got too much to slate him about. I did say at the start of this that it would be hard because I don't necessarily think they're 5 terrible individuals. But you know, when you have to think about, okay, who's not really great right now? Yeah, I'll give it to Lashley.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with that one as well. The Hurt Business thing does have some potential. I'm kind of glad that they're not exactly doing like the Nation of Domination thing with it. It's still tasteful because they could have easily done that, knowing WWE. I'm not saying that they're throwing it in your face because WWE loves throwing things in your face, but you can see that. Like right now, they're predominantly just focusing on one ethnicity, but it works because they're not focusing on that kind of stuff when they easily could have. So, and it has the potential to expand as well. I think they should just fill it up, like get Cedric in there, get Ricochet in there, get no, not Velveteen Dream, but like get I'm trying to think of other like black people or anything. There's no one else is there.
Who did you say? You said...
I said Cedric.
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Ricochet. R-Truth.
No. Street Profits would be good.
Apollo.
I'm waiting for that. That has to happen. But now I'm just wondering if they've done that, if they moved that over to Shorty G right now, which we'll get into. But yeah. Street Profits, I would like us heel Street Profits. Okay. I would like that. That would be pretty cool. That would be nice. Yeah, just expand it, man. But don't make it about race. Just don't. It's just no point. Okay, so yours, Lashley. My number 4, while we're on tag teams, the Viking Raiders. They are an absolute joke right now. They lost complete credibility ever since they were doing that flipping best of 5 when with the Street Profits, when it was 1 week it was golf, next week it was bowling, next week it was freaking axe throwing, and then they had that apparently it's qualified, it is a match on Money in the Bank. Segment or not, that was actually a match. It's on Wikipedia, check it. And yeah, ever since, during that thing they do with Street Profits, it just completely, and I'm not blaming the Street Profits. It's never their fault. That's just creative. Absolutely, completely diminishing they pretty much did this. They do this with powerhouses when, if they don't think they make them go over, they make them into a joke group. They did it with Khali. They did it with Kozlov. They did it with Tensai. They did it with Brodus Clay. Like any of these big people, they just can't make him look hokey and jokey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, and they shouldn't have done that with the Viking Raiders because they're agile. Their moveset is threatening as hell. Their double team is freaking destructible. All this kind of stuff, and they just put them in this best of 5 sports series. It doesn't make sense. But
I think it's like you said, they just went down the comedic route, and they were I didn't watch them on NXT like that, but I knew what their premise was about. And then their first run on Raw, they were obviously a very serious team. They weren't heels, but they were serious like heels. The crowd was into them. Yeah, they're very dominant. To then one random episode of Raw flip them into eating turkey in the car and singing. And stuff.
Ever since that ride along. Yeah.
Come on, like it's just
100.
If that was their thing and that's how they debuted, fine. But to have them be like this militant type of team and then go cartoonish with it, dead thing.
That's I don't rate them all. They've definitely gone down the pan. Me personally, I think they should have a go to either SmackDown or just ship them back to NXT. But yeah, right now, they are losing, in my opinion, credibility as a tag team, because there's not really that many serious tag teams now. Like AOP is out. Flipping, you got the Hurt Business, you got Street Profits, but that's the comedic team that you got them. There's no one really threatening, and they're just putting tag teams together just randomly, like was it Garza and Andrade? I know they were a team before, but I still feel they're just two random people.
They're two individuals.
You know what I'm saying? Andrade shouldn't be in a tag team. Yeah. But I do think that it's more leaning to the way that they're probably going to be champs. I'd say they're going to give it to Garza and Andrade. It's more leaning towards that. Yeah. Have you seen with Raw what was going on with the Street Profits?
Yeah, flipping drugs and shit like flipping. No, that's not PG.
Man passed out, twice due to the lean.
I mean, I saw a spoiler for that, so I knew it was coming.
Okay,
so that's kind of why I watched it. I wanted to see him pass out, but so he passed out, then got back up, had the match, then passed out again.
Did the Ultimate Warrior thing, completely passed out? Yeah, I knew something was up because during their entrance, they were talking, and then you see him. Obviously, he's usually drinking, but if you look closely, you see him after it when they start doing their little promo. You see him sipping on it, and he's looking at it. It's just like something right with this. And then he cuts off to the other team making their entrance, and then that shit happens. But it was, I don't know, I kind of liked it. It was different.
It was different, and the story, with the inclusion of Zelina and Bianca, that's cool. I mean, the Twitch thing,
that is random.
That was sick. Can you imagine that? Because I mean, I don't really watch Twitch.
No,
I've never watched Twitch, but for someone who watches Twitch and watches wrestling, especially a young person, or even not a young person, someone who knows the reality that wrestling's entertainment and blah blah blah. But if you're watching a wrestler on Twitch, you're watching it thinking this is the real them. This is not them playing their wrestling gimmick. This is them actually the person behind the character on Twitch. So then to see that on Twitch, that's sick.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I can imagine people bugging out about that.
100, definitely. They really tried. They really kept kayfabe alive right there. That was pretty cool to see in that. Hopefully that will be the starting point of. And I've noticed a lot of people from the NXT fold are doing that, the stuff with Adam Cole when he's had that awkward interview on that guy's wrist.
The bump or something. Yeah.
It was a separate podcast with that guy Pete McAfee or whatever it was. And he was the guy was making fun of him, saying he was short, and he completely was he didn't hold back. He was swearing at him and all this kind of shit. So they are more so blurring the lines between that more than the main roster are. Even though Selena and Bianca are on the main roster, but they come from the NXT fold. Yeah. So it's nice to see them actually doing that, and why not? But back to what I said about Viking Raiders, completely dead out. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is someone, again, who is actually technically very good or can be very good or has been very good in the past. But again, I'll say the reasons before I say who it is. It's about the fact that his storylines are dead. He's like the king of filler. It's not that he's bad in the ring, but because the whole package is very repetitive and predictable, you don't get excited for the match anymore, no matter what he does. Right. And that's literally it. When this person's storyline starts, you know exactly how it's going to end. And 9 out of 10 times, you are correct.
Right.
The person is Dolph Ziggler.
There we go, yep.
If you know me, I've been the biggest Ziggler fan for years. That's my boy, but not anymore. It's just, do you know what I mean? You just watch it and you're like, okay, there's gonna be some cool promos here. He's gonna lose.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame because he is one of the best. He 100. Technically is one of the best people there. He's just not utilized right, and therefore that creates a negative vibe of his whole performance.
Yes,
and therefore you're not interested. So even I know it's weird. I'm saying he's one of the best, but yet he's one of my top 5 worst. But hopefully my explanation.
100%. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though you know how the match is gonna, or how the promo is gonna go, he still puts in 110% in it, for the most part. He's But yeah, I don't think I know any wrestler that the way the writing is so on the wall, like before it's even started. You know, it's really unfortunate. It should have happened to someone else other than him, because he deserves a lot more. But you know, he's just busy like giving in his all, but and also collecting a very handsome paycheck, because he's one of the highest paid people there. So screw it, why not?
Yeah,
You know,
deserves it, but
yeah,
you know,
he does deserve more. But yeah, it is what it is. My number 3, we're getting close to the ultimate worst, would have to be Nia Jax. And immediately he knows exactly why, and I'm pretty sure if you're a wrestling fan and you watch WWE, you know exactly why. She is an absolute liability. You know, there's been the whole, like almost every match that she's involved in, there's always rumblings of people getting concussed or a big injury. Please see Kairi Sane. And yeah, it's just like, for some reason they're not really utilizing her as well. Like, you know, the storylines that she's in, and her matches are usually marred like by count outs or just a weird finish. Like her matches with Asuka at Money in the Bank? Where it ended up in a weird count out. Like, it didn't look like it was meant to be the finish, but apparently it was.
I don't think she's great on the mic either.
No, she's not the best on the mic.
It's just very forced.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's acting. It
Yes.
sounds over exaggerated. She's trying too hard to be funny, or I don't know. She's trying too hard to be convincing, and therefore it's not convincing.
Yeah.
And it's just,
I liked it back when she first debuted. She didn't say anything. I remember there was the entrance where you see her time's run, and you see her eyes, and it zooms out, and she just clears that house. Next person, please. You know what I mean? So yeah, they should really keep her away from the mic. But I don't know. People are still calling for it to like be released or like go back to doing some training, but they, you know, and now she's in this weird thing where she's bullying some producer backstage. Yeah. It's really weird. Like, I don't know where they're going with her.
Well, I think she's suspended indefinitely now. Storyline.
Yeah.
So maybe that will be the real reason they kind of take her off TV to train her up.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I would. You know, something needs to be done, because
there's potential there. I mean, she's a powerhouse, man. If she knows how to actually wrestle and she's trained right.
Yeah. But it's weird because like she never really had many of these. No, that she kind of has. But it's just more prominent now.
And she's just sloppy. Even like, this is gonna sound like two guys just ripping on a woman, man. But, like,
you gotta call it. Like, if you're a fan, you know exactly what we're on about.
Yeah, she's just, I don't know. Again, just no excitement there. You see a lot of mistakes, and I don't know.
Yeah, just clean it up. That's all we ask. You know, that's all we ask. But anyway, your number 3, please.
So my number 3 is going to be Braun Strowman. And the reason why I say Braun is because I just think it's kind of a mix between my reasons for Lashley and my reasons for Ziggler. If you remember with Lashley, I just kind of said that it's someone that has potential that isn't really used right and is kind of thrown into boring storylines. And with Ziggler, it's just repetitive, you know where it's going, right? With Braun, the first half of Braun is that they should have shot the rocket with him a long time ago.
Yes.
Right? We all know this.
I know the precise place. Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Him against Brock Lesnar. That was it.
Heel or face, they could have shot. Even when in his first heel run, when he was beefing with Roman and stuff, like there was potential there. Like you said, Lesnar, Crown Jewel. Like there was so many opportunities, missed opportunities. And then, which is why now his moments are too little too late. When he won the Intercontinental Championship, it was like, yeah, you know, and even that in itself was like, but he should have won the main championship. Do you know what I mean? And then when he did win the main championship, it's like 3 years too late. Right? Like, you know, no one's excited for this. And then in
literally no one was, because no one was there.
Yeah, no one was there. The fashion that he won it in, who he won it from, like it just was dead all around.
Yeah,
and it's just not. I don't want to say it's not believable, but it's just now. It just seems forced now. right? So there's that. And then the other half is that the storylines. It's like the reverse Ziggler. Like with Ziggler, you know he's gonna lose. With Strowman, you almost know he's gonna win. Like it's a little bit different right now with the whole Bray Wyatt thing, because Bray Wyatt's a different cat completely. But prior to that, any feud that he's been in, who's his feud's been with? Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, just been Miz and Morrison and now Bray.
Okay.
The first iteration of Bray.
Just in general, like even prior to being champion, a typical Braun match is going to be a squash match. And if he does, like all that stuff with Sami Zayn and Shinsuke and Cesaro.
I think his last meaningful rivalry was with Lashley. That was his, I think it was, other than Roman Reigns, that was one of my favorite rivalries that he's had.
It was, the start of it was great.
No, the start of it was a bit iffy with Lashley, right?
Yeah.
Because remember they had the rope match where they were like tugging.
Oh, dead all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, when Heyman took over and they broke the stage from there, that's when the feud started for me.
Yeah.
You know, you pushed me through the stage, bro. Someone has to go. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel there was a point where it was, I'm not sure, was it quiet for a bit? And then they came back and had that Extreme Rules match or something like that.
No,
I think because after the stage thing, weren't they out with injuries?
Yeah, they were out for about a week or 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then they started brawling, and then eventually they had the last man standing match.
Yeah, and that match is very underrated. No one chats about that.
Yeah, 100%.
Very good match.
100%.
Like I implore anybody, even if you don't watch wrestling or anything, go watch that match. That will just be entertaining. But that was like a peak, because prior to that, the ball got dropped. With him numerous times. So that was almost like, okay, it's a bit late, but you know, maybe. But then they dropped the ball on that. And now the most important part of his career, which should be the most interesting and hype and successful, is just boring.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, pretty much. An underwhelming swamp match with Bray Wyatt.
That's it.
You know, you haven't seen it, have you? Have you seen it? The swamp match?
No. I don't think I will.
Yeah.
No, I will. There's some little bits and pieces that I've seen. Like I want to see Bliss and stuff. So, you know, I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough. All right.
So what, number 2 now for you?
Yeah, number 2, yeah. So my number 2, I didn't really think this far. But I put him up there. So yeah, my number 2 would have to be, oh shit, no, I can't put him there, no, because he's worse.
You need a minute? I can do my number 2.
Yeah, put your number 2. Yeah, sorry,
my number 2 is really easy. Like, it's his number 3. It's Nia Jax. So, like, he was being nice putting her as 3. I put her as number 2, mate. Like, shit, nah. Do you know what I mean? So, I'll just reiterate what we've just said while he thinks. But, yeah, Nia Jax, nah. She came in, debuted, powerhouse, monster, credible heel, someone that could be champion, and just like Braun, she never won the championship when she should have. When she eventually won the champion, they made her a good girl. Don't get me wrong, I loved that win as well, because when she was playing a face, it was a bullying storyline where Alexa Bliss was bullying her and she triumphed over the bullying and won the championship. So I did like that, and a lot of people slate that, but I actually liked that. But at the same time, she's supposed to be a heel. Someone that big and strong should be a bad guy, right? And through her first run as a bad guy, they never gave her the title. Fine, you give her the title as a good guy, good girl, fine, cool. But then, does anyone really remember that title run?
No.
Unfortunately, and that's not down to her. That's down to booking. That's down to creative writers.
And wasn't she father to Ronda Rousey?
Probably, yeah, because Ronda Rousey came true, and then it was all about Ronda Rousey. Everyone was a victim, unfortunately, because they wanted to make the person that actually couldn't wrestle but just had the name be the star. Yeah. No offense, Ronda. But, I mean, maybe Ronda should be on this list. I don't know. No, I'm joking. I like Ronda Rousey. She was good. But, you know, for her success, a lot of people suffered, basically. And, Nia Jax was one of them. And then I just don't think she bounced back. She had that moment inadvertently where she became hot because she injured Becky Lynch. But even that proves my point. She injured, in a staged environment, she injured someone for real. To the point where her face practically exploded and she could not compete in what would have been one of the biggest pay-per-view match of the year. She took that away from us. And do you know what I mean? Like,
you did this.
Yeah. And then when Becky got better, they didn't really have much of, Becky didn't really go for retribution. It was just a little side thing. Yeah. I want to beat Ronda Rousey. Oh yeah, you hurt me. Let me dash you away quickly and go back to Ronda. Like, it was just, you know, and then since then it's just been botch after botch and
liability,
boring promo after boring promo. So that's my number 2, Nia Jax. You know,
okay,
and I hate her on TikTok.
She's jarring. Yeah, she is jarring.
Grown ass woman.
No, I totally agree. It doesn't look right. But moving swiftly on, my number 2, I think I'll do you one better. My number 2 is Charlotte Flair.
Another woman. We're just gonna lose subscribers. I'm like, I'm sorry, here being sexist.
I just gotta call a spade, man. She
wait, hold on. We ran Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte Flair.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You know what? It's not that I'm a big Charlotte fan, but I know the premise of her is supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread, being Ric Flair's daughter and stuff. So I want to know why you think that.
Yeah, she's literally. I mean,
you think she's overrated?
She's 100%, 110% overrated. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she has put on classic matches and she puts the work in.
I was gonna say, I've heard you big her up and say she's one of the.
Yeah, she's up there. Yeah, but the way they put her on that kind of pedestal and they just feed her like title shots for no reason and stuff, it really puts a sour note. She's like the female Roman Reigns, more or less.
I would have said the female John Cena, bruv.
Or even then,
like
it's so bad. Like even like she won the NXT title for no reason. They say that they like it was to put like recognition on NXT, but you don't need that. Like I don't see why do that. That just kind of like. You're cheapskating the upcoming talent in NXT. What, they can't be the face of NXT to bring the viewers in? Like, it shows you don't have that much faith in them. Yeah. And that just shows that you're just really trying to cater just to the casual viewer instead of trying to get hardcore viewers that will come to see your TV show every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she won it randomly. And then as soon as she lost that, all of a sudden she was granted another match with Asuka. She had like a random title match on Raw and stuff without working for it, just because for a namesake. And for a while, just before she just got recently taken off TV, they were literally shoving her down their throats. So yeah, she was definitely pretty much the female John Cena.
100%.
But
the only credit I'll give her is the fact that she's playing a villain. Well, I don't know. Sometimes she's in between, but. Even when she's in between, she's still arrogant, right?
Oh, yeah.
So unlike John Cena and Roman Reigns, who are basically forced down our throats, say, hey, this is this good guy that you guys should love. And all that. She's telling you, like, yeah, I'm better than all of you. Like, you know what I mean? So it works, but it's still jarring.
Yeah.
If she was a full-fledged heel, like villain, then I'd say she's being like Baron Corbin, where she's doing her job well. Mm-hmm. But because, like you said, she's in between, even so, it's just boring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it's just repetitive, like, and it's predictable. You know where it's gonna go, and like the best example I can give of this is when she was inserted into the main event at WrestleMania for no reason, to the point where in storyline they told us it was for no reason.
Yeah.
They didn't even try to cover that up with some kind of story. They literally said this match needs Charlotte.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
done. I don't like. Yeah,
basically.
So yeah, she deserves a spot on this list. I'll give it that too.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing, on a promo sound they all sound the same in my opinion. Like, she always has this, like, she's like, I am Charlotte, and then when someone cusses her, she always have this confused look, like, oh
yeah, it's annoying.
It's the same. Like, she's very, very samey. But yeah, that is my number 2. What's your number?
My number one now.
Yes.
So my number 1 is not a female, and my number 1 is Goldberg.
Wow.
Goldberg. Flipping out, man. Why is Bill Goldberg wrestling in 2020? What? Goldberg. WCW Channel 5, you know. Like, nah.
I know, right?
Like,
I know.
I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, the spear, the jackhammer, all of that. But man's a senior citizen now, man. He's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
And then he still walks and talks like he's better than everyone. That's the thing. And it's like, no, your paycheck is better than everyone's, but I don't know.
Absolutely derailed the Fiend in 5 minutes.
Can't forgive him for that.
Took
out a promising star when he's in the Hall of Fame, bro. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Why is he on the active roster?
I know. It is absolutely insane. I've said my grievances with that particular match. I was literally shouting at the screen. I couldn't believe they did that.
I'll tell you another even match that you probably screamed at this screen even louder.
Which one?
Him versus flipping Undertaker.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Completely
What?
jackknifed the shit out of Undertaker. Almost killed the guy.
You ever been to the supermarket and see two old people arguing? That's it. So it was. Bro, so many near-death experiences in that match, man. Like,
so bad. Ever since the famous gumbuck of the turnbuckle, and then he's such a liability.
Not even that. He injured himself before he got to the ring. When
Yes,
he headbutted the door. It's not 99 anymore, bro. Doors are like reinforced now, man. So. That's a shame. I think Goldberg's cool.
No disrespect. Disrespect the guy, man. He needs to.
I say, he's got swag. His entrance music is still one of the best. But I don't need Goldberg in my life anymore. Bro.
Like that one thing they had with Lesnar, that was fine. That was a nice little comeback.
The very first when he beat him in like 10 seconds or something like that. That was cool because it was a shock. And it was the first time we seen him after 12 years. Of course. Yeah. But then go away. Like, I don't need to, do you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be a regular thing. And you don't need to be winning championships, bro. Yeah. Like when there's people there that are there every week. You're the champion and you're not there regularly. We already got that with Lesnar. Yes. Which is, boy, maybe he should be on this list as well. but at least Lesnar's good. Do you know?
Exactly. You know? 100%.
Lesnar's in his late 30s?
No, he's in his 40s, I'm sure.
40s?
Yeah, he's been in the game for time.
All right, but Goldberg's got to be like...
He's in his 50s. Yeah, 100%.
All right, cool.
That guy, yeah, definitely.
So that's my number one.
I don't think I can beat that. I gotta think. No, actually, yeah. All right, so yeah, my number one is also not a female. It's not Goldberg, but it's also not a female either. He's actually not in the company anymore, but it was criminal, like what it did with him.
Oh no, I feel like I know what you're gonna say. Go.
And it is unfortunately my man, Rusev.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Who you thought he was going to be?
Well, I realized it couldn't be who I thought because he left before 2020. But I thought you were going to say Dean Ambrose.
Oh, no. He's made up for it. He's fine. He's not doing... Like, this is for the worst of this year so far. He's killing it right now.
Rusev?
Yes.
Worst wrestler?
Yeah.
Of like, is it in order as well? So number one is number one.
Yeah, number one's...
Rusev?
Because
I need to hear this, bro.
They destroyed him. They completely obliterated him. Like, what's up with this? They made him look like an absolute bitch. I'm sorry. They actually made him look like an absolute...
keep calling it like a cut-cold storyline?
Yeah, it was a cut-cold storyline. How could you be in the middle of the ring, you see this big bull, Bobby Lashley, come out the ring with your wife and kiss her right in front of you?
Blacked.
That's what it was.
You have to edit that out, man.
That's literally, it was every week. It was, and she was rubbing it in his face. Like, there was a scene where like she was in bed with him and saying like Rusev never treats me like this. This ain't wrestling. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of segments where it was like not like that was not wrestling related. Please see Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie and the stepdad. I get that, but this was a so left field. It was a total car crash, and for some reason I don't know why, but I actually liked the Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie segment. That storyline that was pretty cool.
A teenager,
maybe so. Maybe if I watched it now, maybe I might be just like, but maybe it's because that's why I want to preserve that memory of me actually liking it. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, this one was just absolutely. It looked like they were going on a week to week basis later down the line, because like that thing where it was when eventually Bobby Lashley and Lana got married, or was getting married, and all these random people started coming out, and then Rusev was in the cake. And then all of a sudden he was
out.
and then he was tag teaming with Liv Morgan, and then it just went dead. Like, it was a couple. He never got his retribution.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My critique would be, yes, it was a dumb storyline. It was random. It was a bit cheesy, but at the same time, as dead as the storyline was, ironically, it was the hottest thing on the show,
Which is insane.
YouTube views,
Yeah.
the fact like Rusev was over. Rusev was the star of that storyline. But then what kind of just crapped all over it was the fact that he didn't get his retribution.
Yeah.
If he'd won,
Yeah.
it would have been alright.
And he had a tables match with Lashley. Some reason Lashley won.
Yeah.
He had like,
and then where it went from there, I think Rusev was done from that, or was just about for a few weeks and then disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lashley and Lana just still kind of carried it on, but then didn't carry it. It was feels like a waste of time.
There was a time, when he actually had the mustache, didn't he? Like, Rusev had the mustache. He was like jacked up, but he just didn't mention anything about it. It was really, really weird. And they just did him wrong. And like, I love him as a person. He's awesome. Like, the Rusev Day, all that kind of stuff. But how can you go from the Bulgarian brute to being like, seeing your wife getting blacked? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. Like, absolute joke. I would rather him be jucking and jiving, like being like a comedic thing, than actually doing that. And he just got totally embarrassed. Why? I just don't know. So yeah, he just completely lost credibility, and it's to the point where he's actually just said, "Fuck wrestling." He actually doesn't care. He's busy flipping Twitch streaming now.
He's a gamer now.
That's
where the money's
big
at.
jacked up dude flipping,
playing Animal Crossing.
It's insane. So yeah, they just did him wrong, and yeah, I think that was one of the biggest crimes, in my opinion, of the year, pre-pandemic. And yeah, and the only way they could pay him back was releasing him. So yeah, he has to be, actually, in my opinion, the worst wrestler
After Goldberg.
After Goldberg. I don't think I could top that. So yeah, 110%. But yeah, before we wrap things up, have you kept up much with wrestling recently? What's the last thing you've seen?
Raw.
That's
it. Raw was good. Yeah, Raw was good.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, there was some good matches. I'm liking where this whole Bailey and Sasha thing's going. I'm interested in that. The ending, the main event was good. Samoa Joe, Tom Phillips, that was the best moment of the whole night. The spud at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was good. I've been on a bit of a bumpy ride in terms of keeping up to date. So Raw was a good jump back in and on to SmackDown.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Will you be watching SummerSlam? Are you even hyped up with it? Do you know much?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up to date, and yeah, I'll watch SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah, but look out for a prediction video. We will be giving our predictions on the card as always, and also give a little review on the pay-per-view as well. And then so yeah, be looking for that. Yeah, Raw has been a bit of a mixed bag, and SmackDown has been much of a mixed bag. Shorty G's a heel now.
No, I didn't know that. I don't care. But I will say Raw Underground. I'm liking.
What's your thoughts on Raw Underground?
Very quickly, I liked it. I thought it was very interesting, different. At first, when the Hurt got involved, I thought, you're ruining it before it started.
You're just ruining it.
But then, I liked what they did in the end. Yeah, I'm for it.
Okay, all right. Did see, because obviously I also quickly pitched him like to definitely watch Raw. I think this was the best Raw in a long time. But then when I actually sat down and peeped it and was reading people's comments online, it definitely felt like an episode where they were literally throwing so much stuff at the wall and trying to see what would stick, because it was kind of messy. There was a lot of shit that happened, and there was even so much stuff that you forget to even mention the stuff, like such as obviously the Street Profits thing that happening. There's a new 24/7 champion. There was so much stuff that was happening, and obviously the Raw Underground thing. For some reason, Dolph Ziggler is there. which was kind of random. It was really
He
random.
did good though.
He did all right. But yeah, it really felt like it was like all over the joint in terms of some of stuff they were throwing at us. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this Raw Underground thing. It's basically Fight Club. That's what it basically is. So but that's our take on that. But yeah, that is it for this special episode of Take It to the Table. As always, thank you for joining me here, Rides. As always, would you want to tell everyone where they can find you at?
Big Man Rides on everything. BigManRidez. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the whole shebang.
All right. And of course, you can find me on Robert_Chaos. Also, be sure to follow the new Instagram page, official_TITTT. That is for everything Take It to the Table related as well. So be sure to follow that. And also, most importantly, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You know you want to. You know you have to. We're very close at hitting 6,000 subscribers as well. So thank you very much for joining us on this interesting path. Or this, it's a very
interesting year, mate.
Interesting year. That's what I should say. Yeah, interesting year, 110%. But yeah, like I said, this has been Take It to the Table. I have been your host, Chaos, and until next time, guys, peace. Ain't no